Kitchen camera on ke 3. Yeah.
Sir, okay now?
Yeah, I'm able to hear.
Yeah, I'm not able to see your video.
Yeah.
Can you please enable it? Yeah, fine. So I will just share the link right now.
For sure. In fact, our Zoom office link
Recording
is there.
in progress.
I didn't get you, sir.
Office Zoom link is also there, paid one.
Oh, you have that one?
Yeah. Anyhow, let's go with this. Now we don't know. Next time we'll use it.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could use that. Anyway, no problem.
And next time we'll use it.
Yeah. All are requested to put your video off, so I think that would be better for bandwidth.
അല്ല അച്ഛൻ മറ്റോടെ പോയോ?
Sir, we will wait 2 more minutes and we will start.
Yeah.
இந்த நம்பர் போடுங்க. அது எங்க இருந்து பிடிக்க வர போகுது? மா 96 யாருது? 96 என்ன எதுக்கு போடணும்? இல்லம்மா மீட்டிங்
Excuse me.
பயோமெடிக்கல் சாப்டர்.
Excuse me, please mute your mic. Excuse me, please mute your mic.
சரியா 96 போடுமா.
வேணே 98 நான்
ఏం మాట్లాడాలంటే 3 కేసెస్ మాట్లాడాలా
Sir, shall we start then? We have 67 participants right now.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, good evening, all. The first question is, what kind of jobs we will get for women biomedical engineers? See, usually when you study an engineering, especially biomedical engineering, you should know what you have with you. For every field, you need a particular activity. For an example, if you want to become a service engineer, according to me, you have to be physically fit. You should be in a position to travel across the country, across the state, across the metro. Whether you like the traveling, Same way, if you want to become an application engineer, application specialist, the basic qualification for an application specialist is you should have a convincing dialogue. I repeat, a convincing dialogue. Who is giving convincing dialogue? If you see it, our school teachers, not I'm talking about engineering teachers, school teachers. So whether you have that capacity of, teaching somebody. Similarly, you go for, sales. Sales is something like, you need to know the product very well, especially biomedical product, no? You should know very well, and you should know how to sell it also, how to use it also. For an example, maintenance. Maintenance is something which is a very easy component, according to me, in biomedical engineering, because it needs a routine work. Somebody likes a routine work. Somebody likes, morning waking up at 7 o'clock, eating at 8 o'clock, taking a bike to hospital by 10 and 9 o'clock, be in the hospital, listen to people. If you are a patient listener, you can become a very good maintenance person. If you are a very time-bound person, who works for 10 to 5, I will not work more than 5. There are the people, manufacturing people. There are the people, voracious reader. I am a voracious reader. I can read in a day, I can read maybe 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. I can put my mind on the, reading. Then you can become a R&D, research and development person. So basically, you have to find yourself what you are. That is very, very important. Then how will you know that, sir, how do I know that whether I am good in, communication, whether I am good in, marketing is something like a new idea. If you are able to have an idea, if you are able to have an idea other than lockdown in, during this pandemic situation, corona situation, if you have an idea, then you are a marketing person. See, the point is, you should try to learn from yourself where you are strong. You should find it out. Preferably first year, second year, third year, fourth year, you should come out, boss, I have this with me. Very easy to find out. I usually, the best thing to, know about us is talk to your friends. Ask your friends. Tell me where I am strong. Maybe the fellow will say, you are very good. You watch movies, plenty of movies in a day. Then you are a patient listener. Then if you are a patient listener, you have to have a, profile accordingly. Or you can talk to your father. You can talk to your mother separately. Ask her where I am strong. Tell me. They will have an idea. Baba, you are strong in this. So every job has a basic, funda. For an example, we had a girl in our office, who came to me and asking us, sir, I want to become a field engineer. Then after some time, she said, no, so traveling, it's not possible. Can I become a service engineer? I said, no problem. You can become a service engineer. Then first day she went, she's unable to pick power supply of an ultrasound machine. She asked for somebody's help. So you have to be physically fit for the service. So first you find it out where you are strong, mentally, physically, technically, that needs to be done. If you are able to do that, it's quite easy to find out, which job will suit you. So usually I have seen women, you can just, I'm giving a live example, whoever is working, I can share their number also. You can go and talk to them, or you can meet them, understand. Don't go and ask for a job, or rather you can go and ask them how you became like that. I'll give a solid example. Women biomedical engineers in this world, in this, in India. Philips, has a person called Rani Malli, Ranimalli. You can just Google it and see. Rani Malli. She's a Philips #2 in India, in the innovation campus. I repeat, she. So you can be a #2. Till 2018, the GE, Wipro GE, the GE Healthcare India, the director of ultrasound was a woman, Priya Joshi. So you can Google it and see how she became so the top people, Philips, GE has women. Samsung, you see there is a application specialist by name Binsi. She is there for a quite long time. So if you come to, manufacturing side, there are women. I have seen a field engineer who is working for a company as a service person in Delhi. I know one woman. So it is something like we ourselves get a hill feeling that, woman cannot do this, women can do this. I'll tell you a classic example in our office, because I want to give live samples what has happened with me for last 30 years. I have a female in my office by name Kruti. She became right now she heads a quality department. But depending on her caliber, she changed her ideas. She got married, come back again. She delivered a baby, come back again. Second baby, come back again. But still she works. That's a mindset. So there is nothing called only women can do. There is nothing called a man can do. I repeat. My mother was a teacher. My mother-in-law is a teacher. My wife is a teacher. It doesn't mean that, my father cannot become a teacher. Please remove it. A biomedical engineer woman, the best example is Rani Malli and Priya Joshi. You can Google it and see it. Both are women. They were heading the, Philips, of course, Rani Malli is heading now. Priya Joshi, Deepa Joshi. There are two Joshis are there. Deepa Joshi is there, Priya Joshi is there. So Deepa Joshi was heading last year. 2015, Priya Joshi was there. So you can understand there is nothing called only woman. But personally, my experience, a well-suited job for a woman, biomedical engineer, is an application specialist. The reason is, you are going to teach, people who are looking for service. They are service-minded. They want to do something good for the people. So you need to be very calm. You need to be very, impressive. You need to be very stylish. According to me, a female application specialist plays a very big role in this market, in this biomedical field. So I suggest the first rating I can get is becoming an application specialist. The ideal thing for a woman biomedical engineer. That's the first question. Second question, while applying for a job, to which I should apply, sir? The qualification is BME and MBA, hospital management. Hospital management, a person who has done a biomedical engineering and hospital management, my sincere suggestion is to, try to get into corporate hospital, because you have an hospital management. It's a wonderful thing what you have. I have a person who is a Mindray dealer in Madurai, who has done a hospital management for last, 12 years before. The management was called in a different way earlier. Now it is called as a management. But it is a similar course. Maybe one or two subjects may be different. But you should get into a corporate hospital. Immediately people will say, nobody is calling me corporate hospital. See, it's not, you have to prepare yourself. Maybe you work in a 100-bed hospital or a 50-bed hospital, show some results and switch over to a corporate hospital. After I get the bachelor degree in biomedical engineering, should I get a job or continue my education? See, this is it depends on so many things. It depends on your finance. It depends on your liking. It depends on, I'll tell you, my daughter completed her medicine. Our idea was to get married. She got married. And after getting married, my community wants a baby immediately. She gave a baby. But now she's totally into PG preparation. So you can understand, it is in life you have to prioritize what is required now. If she want to get married now, during Corona, it's very, very difficult. Delivering a baby is very, very difficult. So it's all decision. You take it on a proper time, which takes you to a better level. So my suggestion is, I always tell people, if you do an engineering, undergraduate, it is ideal to work for 1 or 2 years. Because if you see in America, the person who wants to after engineering, you will come to know whether you are a management guy or a engineering guy. So in a PG course in America, if you want to do it, it is much easy to do it. I'm talking about doing again a PG in biomedical engineering or PG in clinical engineering or PG. But whereas a Master of Business Administration, MBA, you cannot do it. You need to undergo a 2 years work. You need to work for 2 years, then only you can go for others. So you can, by working, you will understand whether I'm a management guy. I'll tell you my classic example. When I got my engineering, I was thinking that I'm good in service. I was extremely good in service. I was doing wonder. I was working for a company called Advanced Technical Laboratories, ATL, in USA, Seattle based. They are the people who brought ultrasound to the country, to the world. So I was very good in service. But when I got the opportunity for an installation, I switched over to installation. When I got the opportunity for doing application, I switched over to application. So it is how good you are able to cope up the work in your field. The fourth question, what is the role of biomedical engineering laboratory? See, laboratory is something like, if you are seeing, I'm not talking about a normal laboratory, what the city runs or, hospital runs. I'm talking about a laboratory of, where biotechnology, like Biocon, where there are some people are involved in that because there is an engineering, there is an health engineering is there. So, those kind of laboratory working, maybe it will be helpful. Again, you should be good in analytical, mechanical, combos. That will help you. But working in a lab, I may not suggest. While studying normal BME, BTech, what are the extra skills one should learn to get better knowledge and opportunities later or after masters? See, it is very simple. When you want to get married, especially females, their mother always tell you learn how to cook because you have to cook for your husband. And the same way, if you go to the other side, the man's side, before marriage, father or mother always tell the boy, you have to take care of your wife properly. So it is something like this. You need to know what makes you more interesting in your life. I'll tell you, when I did my engineering, my liking was ultrasound engineering because my sister had a hot block where she was scanned by a HP machine, 1100 machine. So I was attracted by that machine, ultrasound machine. I thought that my life should be ultrasound because I'm able to see the machine, able to see the heart movements, blood flow. So the idea is, you need to have your likings. What is your liking? Based on that, you work. The sixth question. What are the PG after completing biomedical engineering? If so, what are the courses? See, please understand, after this Google, finding what are the course needs to be done is very easy. It's not a big deal. But my suggestion is, when you go for a PG application, especially outside the country, doing it inside the country, in India, I may not suggest, maybe with IITs and NITs, I may not suggest you to do it in a normal engineering college for a PG. Rather, you can go get out. The reason is, when you file an application in the states or other countries, they ask for a, SOP. Why you want to do the course? When you write that letter, you yourself will understand what is my plan in my life. So that makes a lot of difference. So you can do a lot of courses, right now in US, any degree can do any courses. Yeah, I have come across a person who has done a biomedical engineering. After that, she did clinical engineering. I have come across a person who has gone to alternative engineering. There are so many things, it depends on your likings. You just Google it, you will get the list. You like it, which one you like it, you select it. What are the basic knowledge or requirements one should have get a job in biomedical engineering, tier 1 biomedical companies? See, that's a fantastic question. How will I get a job in Wiproji? How will I get a job in Philips? How will I get a job in Sunset? How will I get a job in Johnson & Johnson? How will I get a job in Smith Nephew? See, the multinational companies are the real gatekeepers of the technology. The technology is with them, right? So, earlier days, like, the classic example I can give you is Larsen & Toubro. So, Larsen & Toubro, what they do, They select a degree holder, they train them. But why they do like that is they look for a person to work in the organization for a long period. But nowadays it doesn't happen. You know, you will not see maybe a person working now, maybe working for another company in 2 years' time. You know, they keep changing it. So the whole multinational companies have come to a conclusion that, you know, training a person, all these things are useless. So rather he can be trained outside. So hire a person who is already in the competition, who is already working for the competitor and work. What is the competitor? So again, you are getting into multinational companies. So how it gets boiled down? For an example, you take ultrasound field, because I am from ultrasound field. Ultrasound companies, what they do, GE, Wipro, GE Healthcare has a person in Wipro in India. Wipro has a sales is done by a dealer, service is done by a service franchise. So if your interest is ultrasound engineer, preferably join. If you want to become a service engineer, join a franchise. If you want to become a salesperson, you join a dealer. You got the point? So you learn yourself. So that becomes a training center. For an example, in my office, I've been doing this ultrasound business for the last 30 years. Our idea is we don't take the competitor guy. We take a person, a trainee person, and train them. I do L&D style because I have born and brought up in Larsen & Toubro. So I like that style. So I do that. So a fresh fellow, I'll take them, train them to be very, you can just Google it, our site and see it. The CEO of the company is a person who joined as a trainee in 2000, has become a CEO of the company in 2013. So in 13 years, he's ending the company. So you can understand how this goes. So it is something like if you want to go to the Taiwan companies, this is the best way. See, if if you're a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, if you have seen the opening of the temple, or if you see the opening of the church or the mosque, it is always it's not open to everything. It has a door. You have to get into that small door. Please understand. Or there is another way I will tell you. A new generation type is, what you can do is go to site, Wipro G site, or Philips site, or a Samsung site, or a SOT site. Find out their job requirements. Take a printout of it. Put it in front of you. Daily you read it. And get to know each and everything by yourself. So if they say that you have to have a knowledge of, you have to work in this field for 2 years, work up to 2 years. You have to have a good communication skill. If you don't have a communication skill, go and join a communication school. Get a certificate. If it says that you have to have a, theory knowledge, please start reading your 5th semester, 6th semester book. I'll tell you a classic example. Somebody wants to write a GATE exam. My son is writing a GATE exam. He keeps reading a 3rd semester books. So something like that. So you list down what they want. Put it in front of your mirror. Keep seeing it every day. Get one by one. Then you can get the Tier 1 medical equipment company, which is the best country to pursue masters. See, masters, I tell you, the most of the technology, gatekeepers in the world, the Americans. America, United States of America is the best to do PG. I will not suggest you to do anywhere in the world other than, because the whole group, the gatekeepers of the technology of biomedical engineering is with Americans only. It will be with American only because the kind of money they put in, it's very, I'll tell you a classic example. The budget of health industry in America, the whole budget for the year budget, 17.5%, almost 16-17% is spent in America. Whereas in India, we spend 3% of our budget. You can understand what, unless otherwise we go to that 32%, that is the double or triple of what America spends, then we will, over a period of 5 years or 10 years, we become more powerful. Anyhow, so America is the best. After study, there is a break of 2 years due to marriage and post-delivery, but I wish to start my career now. What are the? That's a wonderful question. Somebody has asked, maybe a woman only, and female had asked after 2 years. Please understand, you'll be surprised. A country called Korea, if you're doing an engineering, if you're doing a graduation, they give a break for 1 year. After the second year, they ask you to take a break. After the third year, they ask you to take a break. The break is not to have fun. Rather, go to the industry, learn and come back. So what you have done, you have gone to the family industry. How to run a family, how to be with the husband, those things, in-laws, all those things. You have learned something good. So you can come back. I have so many examples. I have a person called Shilpa who has done her engineering in NIT in Calicut, electronics engineering. She's working with us. She first got married. She took a leave for 6 months, got married. Again, she came back and got a kid. And again, second kid. It happens. There is nothing wrong in. I love to have a mother in my team, or anybody would love to have a mother, because you will be the best person to deal. According to me, you will be the best person to handle unsatisfied customer. Because a satisfied customer, anybody can handle it. A woman can handle better way. That way, a family woman can handle. So the person who has given my 10th question is welcome. You can do wonders in this world. Which role as a BME will be favorable to balance both families? Wonderful question. Which family? See, basically, the life has, the career. See, people, you're all young generation. You should understand life is different. Career is different. The career is inside the life. Most of the people think that, the career is the life. No. Life has so many things. Life has so many things. Career has only one thing. It is only the growth. You don't want to fail in that. But life, you will fail. You will pass. It's like a sports. You will fail to learn. So, the ideal role is, something like a, very lazy kind of a work. I may suggest you to maintenance work, maybe ideal to do what, to balance it. Or you can take, not target oriented jobs. Preferably you can take right from the beginning. I have one person in my office. There is one girl by name Prasita. She never gets into target oriented. She says, "Sir, I don't need big salary. I want to have a good feel in the when I come here. I want to work." So she works on the documentation part. So you can understand. We have a PCPNDT Act in ultrasound industry. So she takes care of the documentation. So it's something like that. So what is the role of a BME during pandemic time at hospitals? Wonderful. So what is the pandemic time? What are you doing? See, it is not only hospital. Generally, I'll tell you. See, biomedical engineers, they are the people who can connect the engineering and the human. I repeat, engineering and human. There is no field can connect, whether it is electrical or mechanical or, the biomedical engineers are the people who, I repeat, they are the people who can connect a human and an engineer. So you can do wonders. Have you any time opened a mask and found what is inside the mask N95? Have you any time opened a 3-play and checked? Have you any time seen what is the combination of the sanitizer? Why alcohol free? What is alcohol sanitizer? Have you any time seen it? So pandemic time is a time where you can enjoy what is used in the pandemic. I'll tell you, after 20 years, your son will ask you, your grandson will ask you, what did you do during pandemic time? Oh, in pandemic time, I was reading newspaper, I was watching TV, I was eating well. That's not right. Baba, I'm able to do something for my family for the pandemic. I found one sanitizer in my house, a combination of a chemical. Or I could able to do a mask for my family. I'm able to buy the best mask for my people. I'm able to produce a mask. So many things. So pandemic time is a time where you can do wonders, not only in hospitals, everywhere you can do. So hospitals, you can find it out, how good you can, what your oxygen generators, the ventilators, patient monitors, everything. The whole patient monitoring setup is under the biomedical engineering only. So you can be a good person to maintain those equipment, right? What is the role of biomedical engineering multi-speciality hospital. See, this is a very, vague question, multi-speciality hospital. The problem is, I always tell people, you need to select the department, whether you are towards cardiology, radiology, gynecology, you have to have a logic. If you don't aromatology equipment, or analytical equipment, you have to get exposed. But when you go to the maintenance, what happens is, you become you will understand so many things. You will not be good in anything. So your maintenance job is something like a very lazy job. So you will not get respect. You will not get good salary. You will not see very few people in this world in India who are becoming a biomedical engineers and shown some. I have one Jitesh is there. You can if you guys wanted their numbers and all, you can just ask me. Definitely, I'll share it to you. Jitesh in Mumbai, he's a big gun. There is one Lawrence is there in Mumbai. He's a BME, very big gun. They are all, without their approval, nothing will happen in the corporate hospital. So, multi-speciality hospitals, initial problems you should not see. Think of a, career for 2-3 years, 5 years. At the 5 years, you will become. I'll tell you a classic example. There was a person, last time Satar conducted a program, a person becoming an IAS officer. A model engineering college person. I met him when I gave a class in model engineering college. This person, he keeps asking me several times to me. I still remember whether a biomedical engineer can appear for a UPS exam. I told him 100 times, it is a graduate can do this. They don't ask for whether you are a chemical engineer, whether you are a automobile engineer, nothing. You have to be a degree holder. That's it. And first class, earlier it was there, now that they have removed that also. So the point is, he kept that 9 years to go to that cadre, UPSC cadre. So he went to, software for some time. After software, you switched over to, a small company in Trivandrum because he has to undergo a training course in Kerala Academy, IAS Academy. And then he became a geography teacher for 6 months to learn more about geography, own subject. So you need to have a plan. You cannot just like that. See, it's not an industry where biomedical field is not, you just go and get it. It's not like that. You have to plan. For an example, I have planned, to understand, what is application, what is, installation, what is service, what is field service, what is, component level service. I learned everything over a period of 2 years with the ATL. Then I understood my job will be an ideal to do a particular job, which I selected it. And when I joined Larsen & Toubro, I took that as a portfolio. So after that Larsen & Toubro story, I thought that, it is for me to show my skills to the industry. So I switched over to the, entrepreneur. I like my entrepreneur skill and I become an entrepreneur and I'm doing it last 20 years with 2-3 companies. So it is your, how good you can come up with your ability. Will it be worth doing MBA in hospital management after completing? See, biomedical engineering, please understand, hospital management for a woman, it is a very good job. Because most of the hospital, the major problem is the management. So you are welcome, you can do it. There are people are doing it, known to me also. You are definitely, it is good to do it if you are a woman. What are the criteria to be followed while selecting a hospital for training? See, please understand. In an hospital, see, people are having a very wrong mentality when you want to get trained in the hospital. See, please understand, when you are getting trained in a hospital, how you are getting trained? You are getting trained along with the patient. Actually, you are a biomedical engineer. You are not a nurse. You are not a male nurse. You are not a doctor. You are an engineer. So training is supposed to be done by the multinational companies. You check, Kenan. Kenan runs a training program. You check GE. GE runs a training program. You check, Pfizer. Pfizer runs a training program. You attend the company training program. That is very important. Hospital training program is according to me, I will always say that hospital training program is to, feel the emotional, how the equipment is getting connected or how it is getting used, how to satisfy a customer, that is a doctor, those kind of things. Hospital training program according to me, I will not suggest. Rather, you should get trained by a multinational companies that gives you much mileage. If you are going for some job, they will ask whether you are trained by that company. Definitely, it can be done. Okay. So, what kind of jobs are available for EMC? Yeah, I told you, no, BME graduates can become an application engineer, production engineer. He can become a service engineer, field service engineer. He can become a refurbishment. I have one biomedical engineer by name Nasuruddin. He's a refurbishment engineer. You give anything to him, he will refurbish and give you. He can become a refurbishment engineer. So BME can do anything. There is absolutely nothing called you cannot do it. What kind of jobs are available for us? That is a computer science question, 17th question. 18th question, where can I get a job in my field, be biomedical engineer, and how can I get it? See, please understand, biomedical engineering is very simple. Healthcare industry, you apply, definitely any fellow will be there doing in healthcare industry. You find out, you get to know about the product. If you like the product, as I told you, cardiology, radiology, gynecology, you choose the line and work on it and you become a master of it. Build this biomedical job portal. Yeah, biomedical job, a lot of portals are there. Sattar runs this one, and there is another person called Biomedical, MEDKAL. He's also running it. There are sites are there which you can see daily. I always suggest people to go through, employmentexchange.gov.in, where you get central government, state government requirement also. You can see there also. What are the companies providing BME jobs in Tamil Nadu? Please understand. In India, first state is Maharashtra, who buys a lot of medical equipment. I'm not talking about the government, I'm talking about the private. The second is Tamil Nadu. The third is Karnataka. So Tamil Nadu, you will find all the company, you name any product, that company will be there. It is for you to find out. Just Google it, you will find the location, put the application. If there is a vacancy is there, definitely they'll call you. Can I work as a biomedical engineer and also do my higher studies in part-time? It will be useful for her. See, I did my part-time, so I know pretty, you have to have a very difficult times in doing a part-time. If you're a very hard worker, go for a part-time. I may not suggest now doing a hard work. So you need to have some kind of, fastness. Okay. So I think we have gone with the most of the questions. So that.
Yeah.
Most of the exams, competitive.
Yeah, we have, I think, only 3 minutes left. Shall we start another session, or?
I think starting another session will be better.
Okay, so I think there is only 3 minutes. I think it will end up. So give me some time in between. It will be recording, so it may take maybe 10 to 20 minutes. So I will keep update in the group itself. So you can just continue for 2 minutes. So later we will start with another session.
Yeah. So if I plan to higher studies, which course will have good scope, that has scope in Tamil Nadu, India and abroad? I told you, higher studies is something like you have to decide whether you want to have an MBA or you want to have a, your own engineering. You have to select which one you do it. Based on that, you can select. So usually people, what they do is, they do after the UG, you start working, get some money, and with that money, go for a PG in America. That's an ideal thing to do it. Can I work as a biomedical engineer also? What kind of jobs are available in biomedical engineering? I already answered. I want to go for higher studies if there is a scope in West Bengal. West Bengal is in the state, if you see it, the fourth one is West Bengal. You have most of the companies are there in West Bengal. There is absolutely no problem. Only thing is you have to work in Kolkata. That's the only difference. Is the BME's clinical department or non-clinical department? No. See, don't get confused. It is for you to decide. I told that the gynecology, radiology, that has the clinical and non-clinical. So you, as a department, there is nothing like non-clinical. It's only the, department has the gynecology, radiology, like that only you can. About maintenance and installation of biomedical equipment. It's a very good field. Maintenance and installation is something like, it is good for the females who can do that. What are the competitive exams for BME? BME competitive, everything is there. Degree holder, even today, I think NTPC came out with an advertisement. They also mentioned that biomedical engineering is applicable for their own requirement. So biomedical engineering, any UPSC you can write, You can write state, group 1 services, you can write biomedical engineering. You can write any competitive exams. Bank exam you can write, to be very honest with you. What are the government jobs are there for it? See, biomedical engineering, unless otherwise there is a biomedical council happens. See, happening a biomedical council, like you have a nursing council, a biomedical council has to happen in India. So I don't know who will take that, the council, once the council come, the concentration for the whole biomedical industry will be very, 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 very high. So we should all think of a council to come, nursing council, pharmacy council, like that. Engineering council is there, but it is not, biomedical council doesn't have a big role in the engineering council. So preferably, if you get a council, maybe because it's a service industry, we should have a council background. What are the importance of Lean Six Sigma for biomedical? See, Six Sigma, all those things you can, when you join a biomedical big companies, you will come to know automatically. So you don't need to spend. That's a big money you have to spend. I may not suggest now.